Hey folks, Tito, Jeff Thitoff here, coming to you live, FanStream Sports, powered by DSP Media with your Buckeye Daily Blitz. Follow me on the X on Twitter at FitHappens, where you can join me and get closer and closer to the season now, folks. Ohio State, Texas later on this month. Want to talk first about Ross Bjork from Ohio State, the athletic director, who's been on the job now a little more than a year, and he came in with some different ideas he brought up the other day to the media about some of the things they're going to do to change the game day atmosphere at Ohio State. Now, the Ohio State, the Horseshoe, the stadium has been around for over 100 years. It was 1922, I think, is when it was opened up, when Chick Harley, the house that Chick built is what they called it. But anyway, sometimes it gets a little quieter than it probably should for having 100,000 people there. And so what you'll see sometimes is some fans standing up, and some of the older season signals, some of the, asking people to sit down and not getting into the game as much as they should. So then Ohio State's infamous for that, I guess, for not having the kind of atmosphere maybe all the time. Now, when Ohio State's got a good team in town and it's rocking like a night game, the Tennessee playoff game last year was an absolutely electric atmosphere. I've talked to people who've said that's the greatest atmosphere they've ever been involved in with Ohio State. But Ohio State, and there's a few reasons why Ohio State doesn't always have that electricity during home games. Now, one of the reasons is because of the deal the Big Ten signed with Fox. And now that Fox gets the first 3 draft picks of games they want to pick out of the Big Ten, and they always take Ohio State, Michigan. This year they also have Ohio State, Texas, and they have Ohio State, Penn State. So they get the first 3 picks of games. Those will all be noon games at Ohio State because Fox does the big noon kickoff. They don't try to compete with ESPN at night all the time. They don't want to put their best games at 3:30. They do it usually at noon. So it's not, I'm not saying it's Fox's fault. It's the Big Ten's fault for agreeing to a deal like this where these kinds of things happen, because that really robs Ohio State. The Texas game should be a primetime game. There's no doubt about it. The Penn State game this year should be a primetime game. Likely will be a noon game, according to Ross Bjork. So Ross Bjork is trying to think of some creative ways to just change up the atmosphere. Now, keep in mind, there's a couple of different things in play here. There's fan experience and there's game day atmosphere. And they're two different things. Sometimes they'll be affected the same way, but if you want to go when you talk about game day atmosphere, that's things you're doing within the stadium, within within the game, within the production, that's going to excite people. Some of the things fans like that were announced, some of the things they hate. And Bjork's been criticized for a few of these things. We'll go over a couple of them right now. The first one I saw was Ohio State's got a victory bell, and they ring it after every game. After every win, I should say. After every win, they go up. The victory bell gets rung by a sorority, I think it is, from Ohio State there. But what they're going to do differently this year is they're going to ring the bell pregame also. So before the game starts, they're going to have like a former Ohio State player or dignitary, somebody to ring the bell before the game starts. It's already been announced for the Texas game. It'll be Archie Griffin. It's going to be a big deal. Now, some fans are upset about that. They said, you're jinxing Ohio State now. They might lose ringing the victory before they shut up. That doesn't make any sense to me. But that's one of the things they're doing. They're also going to, they moved the band from the south side to the north stands, which is where they used to be for years anyway. That's all well and good. That's fine. They're going to, they usually play Hang On Sloopy in between the third and fourth quarters. A lot of college teams do that, where they'll have some kind of signature song they play at home between the third and fourth quarter. And Ross Bjork said we're also going to play it at other times throughout the game, perhaps, and if there's a big play or something. And so that's not a big deal. Some fans are upset about it. I don't get it. What's the other thing that they're going to do? Oh, they're handing out virtual Buckeye leaves. If the fans are excited and all this stuff, and they get loud, and it causes a turnover by the team or a third down stop or whatever it is, they'll have this virtual Buckeye leaf. Somehow they'll pop up on the screen, I guess, whatever that's going to be. But anyway, those are just minor things they're doing. And I'm not sure why fans are so open arms about it. And when you look on social media, some people said they wanted things like cheaper tickets, better food options, cheaper food, enhanced restrooms, all these different things they talked about that are things for the fan experience, not the game day atmosphere. And the Horseshoe, like I said, it's over 100 years old. Yes, the bathrooms suck. They're awful. You go when you're, at least I haven't been to the women's one, got to admit that. But on the men's side, though, they've got those long trough stuff. Everyone stands next to each other and pees. There's no barriers and things like that. So line's always long. It always smells awful in there. But that's you can't just change that overnight kind of thing because, like I say, the building's 100 years old. And so those people who want to change things like that, and they're upset about different things about the stadium structure and things need to be changed. Look, the only way you're going to fix everything and modernize the whole thing is to tear it down and build a new one. And no one wants to do that. No one wants to build a new stadium, tear down the horseshoe. So, but if Ohio State's got a good game in there, good opponents, they're playing for something, it's always going to be electric in there. So, but there's minor things they're doing to try to tweak things. They're trying to eliminate some of the things where they're celebrating things on the field between quarters or during TV timeouts and stuff. They might do it more on the side versus middle of the field, speed things up that way a little bit and keep the focus on the field. So Ross Bjork catch a lot of hell for this. But I got to tell you, the thing I like about this is he's mixing it up. He's not afraid to mix it up. He's heard the fans complain, and he realizes that fans want change. Now, it might not be the change the fans want exactly, but I think I like the fact he's taking a shot at this and trying some new things to get integrated into the stadium. And like I say, I hope it works out. But the best way to do it is to have more 3:30 games, more night games, and bigger games. But that's not going to change anytime soon. The Fox contract is still going to stay the way it is, and Ohio State will get relegated to a lot of noon games. By the way, coaches poll came out. Texas and Ohio State ranked 1 and 2. It's the first time teams are going to play in week 1 that are ranked 1 and 2 in the first poll, the preseason poll like this. And can't wait for that game. Noon, I get it. But nonetheless, also what Greg says he's going to hand out. Bjork says he's going to give out 100,000 towels. Kind of like the terrible towel thing, but it's going to say "the" on it, scarlet and gray. So I'm excited about that. But they're going to have that kind of atmosphere there as well. Should be a great game, though, with Texas. And it's because the way the CFP is set up now, it's not an elimination game. I don't think it'll impede either team's chances of getting into the college football playoff unless one of them totally falls apart during the season. The Athletic put out a thing with their, I think it's Bruce Feldman does this, but the biggest freaks in college football, freak athletes. And Jeremiah Smith, number 1 for Ohio State. And the way that Jeremiah Smith has transformed his body, and just in the little more than a year he's been here, I guess it's been now, is amazing. And Jeremiah Smith is going to be a real problem again this year for opposing teams. I know he was last year. This year it's going to be the same thing, though. He's bigger, he's stronger, all those things. He hit 23 miles an hour running before, so he's amazing. Speaking of that, they also did the college football players, most important 25 players on ESPN did this. Most important college football players of 2025. Julian Sayin of Ohio State was ranked 6th on the list. Jeremiah Smith, 24. Caleb Downs, 25. It's Ohio State this year is going to have the best offensive player in college football in Jeremiah Smith and the best defensive player in Caleb Downs. And don't sleep on Sonny Styles, also one of the guys on the freak list. He is going to be something else. I remember when I talked to Matt Patricia the other day. He mentioned how much he's looking forward to employing Sonny Styles in many different areas of the facet on defense. College football player, we'll go to quarterback talk first. A lot of people believed that Julian Sayin was going to be the starting quarterback, myself included. 4 months ago, I thought, Julian Sayin's going to be the starting quarterback. They're going to announce it. It'll be fine. He'll be the starting quarterback no matter what. That's not necessarily the case. And I've heard, I don't think it's just coach speak either. I heard that in the spring practices, leading up to the spring game, Lincoln Kienholz looked better than Julian Sayin. Now, in the spring game, Sayin looked better, but in the practice leading up to it, Kienholz was the one who seemed to have the advantage there. And then they've been practicing in these most recent practices, some of them we got to watch. It's very even, very neck and neck. Lincoln Kienholz, if your only memory of Lincoln Kienholz is that game against Missouri in the Cotton Bowl, when he got thrust into there because of injuries, he wasn't supposed to be playing in that game. The offensive line was awful that game. Missouri dominated. Kienholz never had a chance. He went 6 for 17 passing, and the Ohio State scored 3 points in the game, losing to Missouri. If you can't judge Kienholz on that, you need to see him now. He looked great in the spring game. Not as good as Sayin, but looked really good in the spring game, and he's looked good in practice so far. It really is going to be a tough decision for the coaching staff to decide who's going to start week 1 against Texas. But whoever it is going to have, obviously, massive weapons at their disposal. The offensive line looks good. Defensive line, as long as they can avoid injuries, as long as they can avoid some injuries on the defensive line, they should be fine there. They've got the best defensive backfield in college football, I believe, also. Let's talk about college football now, because now when you talk about the 12 versus 16, Something you have to understand, first of all, if you're somebody who loved the 4-team and the 8-team or whatever, the 4-team, and then hope they would go to 8 instead of 16 or 12 or whatever they were going to go to, they're not going backwards. They won't go backwards from 12 unless there's some kind of massive redesign of college football. But even then, they wouldn't do it. The money is just too good. So 16 is the next logical step. I'm not sure if it will happen in the next 2 years, but it will get to 16 at some point. No professional league goes back on playoffs. No professional league. You'll never see NCAA on college sites. You never see NCAA say, you know what? Let's go back to 54 teams. Let's go back to 48 teams. It's not going to happen. Too many games, too much interest, too much money. Say NFL, they'll never go back. NHL, the NHL used to, for a while there, they had 21 teams in the NHL and 16 made the playoffs, which is insane. They would play an 82-game season just to eliminate 5 teams. Well, now they're at 16 still. NBA is at 16. No one's going back. No one's going to go back. They're only going to go forward if they decide to expand in those professional leagues. But so college football is going to go to 16 eventually, and I hope they have 2 rounds of on-campus games before you get into the semifinals in the championship. One more thing I want to get to, college basketball news on the women's side. Ohio State and Connecticut agreed to a home and home. The Connecticut's going to host Ohio State. Connecticut's going to be they're going to host Ohio State in 25-26. And then next season, Ohio State will host UConn. So the last time these teams played, it was in a 2023 Sweet 16 when Ohio State beat UConn, and that ended UConn's 14 years in a row of being in the Final Four. So a lot on the line there in Ohio State, Connecticut, a couple of better programs in college basketball. Obviously, Connecticut's on another level, but Ohio State's striving for that. So we got more to talk about tomorrow because James Laurinaitis, the head coach, the linebacker coach for Ohio State, he's going to talk to the media. We get to hear from him about the linebackers, what's going on with them. I will tell you, though, this team is fired up. They look great, and it's going to be a fun season for the Buckeyes. Follow me on Twitter @ThatHappens. I'm Tito, Jeff Thitoff, Fanstream Sports powered by DSP Media. We'll talk again soon.